And our sixth and final inductee from the sport of men's soccer, Modersohn. Looks like we have the current soccer team here to support Mark, who was a 4-year starting goalkeeper for the Bears with Coach John Levy from 1997 to 2000. He ended his playing days with school career records in games, saves, shutouts, goals against average, goalkeeper wins, and minutes in goal. A product of Des Moines Roosevelt High, he was a 4-year All-Missouri Valley Conference selection, 1997 Valley Newcomer of the Year, 1999 Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and a 3-time All-Region selection. Modersohn's goalkeeping helped Missouri State to MVC regular season championships and NCAA tournament berths in both 1997 and 99. And the Bears were combined 52, 20, and 10 in Mark's 4 seasons in goal. He logged the 4 best single-season averages on record at MSU for fewest goals against, and had the Bears' 2 best single-season totals for shutouts. In 1997, Mark became the first freshman ever to be named to the All-Conference First Team. Same year, his brother Seth was an All-League pick as a senior at Drake. Mark also was one of 30 players picked to the Conference All-Centennial Team in 2007. The 99 Bears season was best on record for the program, as Missouri State's regular season was marred only by ties against Drake, 10th-ranked Creighton, and number 2 St. Louis. The Bears lost a 2-1 heartbreaker to UAB in the NCAA tournament to finish 17-1-3. MSU was ranked among the nation's top 10 for 7 straight weeks and ranked 4th at the end of the season for the National Soccer Coaches. After 13-win seasons, Mark's first 2 years, Missouri State closed out 9-7-3 his senior year. He currently lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. From soccer, Mark Modersohn.
Alright, so first off, I just want to congratulate all my fellow inductees in the class. Many thanks to the University, the athletic department, for putting this on. You know, it's very overwhelming for many reasons, which I'll share with some of you today over the next few minutes. And we'll start it off with just saying thank you from the bottom of my heart to Miss Sally Dink this year, whose husband founded the program, who started this thing, and it's probably come a long way from, I believe, the fans that used to go to the games to now flying to different places across the country. So I know she's in attendance, so it's very heartfelt thanks. Coach O'Neill, who's not able to be here today, I know he was a big proponent of the program. It takes a lot of work, especially in men's soccer, to keep this thing going. It's not the biggest revenue generator for the sport. I understand it. But we all value what you do and the hard work that you put in. He was always a straight shooter, whether it's about school or life, to be able to sit down and talk to him. Coach Rowe is also here. I think he started showing up at the games after we got nationally ranked. But it's good to see him. He was always there, supporting the program with a smile on his face and helping this thing work. And I'm just going to kind of go in a timeline of my life to say thank you to some people, and I hope I don't miss too many people. I might not look in that direction too much because I don't want to get choked up, but all of you guys coming back from the teams, it's been awesome to see you guys. I look forward to the rest of the weekend where we can get some time to spend together. My family made its way in from Chicago and Iowa, and it's been an awesome experience. So Coach Leamy will get to a few stories for Coach in a little bit, but thank you. I'll start out, I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. It's the backyard of Drake University. Both my parents went to Drake, my brother went to Drake. Unfortunately, never lost to Drake in my whole time here, so that was good. It's kind of an overwhelming day for me. 15 years ago to the day, on February 1st, 1999, my mom passed away while I was a sophomore year. She's not able to be here in attendance. I know she's super pumped, motivated, but she'd be on cloud nine right now. She was my first coach. She never played soccer a day in her life, but she had me out on the field and was pushing us to accomplish anything that we could ever accomplish in the sporting side of things. So she was the person who made the decision to put me in goal and my brother on field so that we wouldn't compete. And it probably had a little bit to do with that. He's 3 years older, so what's better than to throw your younger brother in the back of the goal and beat up, right? So that was pretty cool. I was a mama's boy for my whole life, so it's kind of emotional. My dad is here. I understand that I did not get any athletic ability from you, so I appreciate that, but, it's all good. We have to keep each other balanced, right? So he was awesome, motivated. He's a photographer for life. He always, challenged himself to be the best at what he did, and always told us that we need to do the same thing. So, our relationship in college after, my mom passed changed, and it changed for the better. We got closer, we stayed tight since then, and, he's one of my best friends. Then my brother, he's my big brother. It's like any big brother, little brother thing you could ever ask for. 3 years, he's a senior my freshman year. He was always the guy out there pushing me to get better. He's probably a better example of, if you work as hard as you possibly can at anything, you can accomplish it. And, sometimes he wanted me to push my talent to the next level, which was great. But, he's my best friend. He's out in LA. He can't take it in. This weekend, I wish he could be here because this is just as much him as it is me. And, we played Drake in college. He's a freshman, or I was a freshman his senior year. And fortunately, we beat him. And so I never have to live that down for the rest of our lives. So we beat him pretty good that day, too. Right? And, then after the season, we went to the conference tournament. And like I mentioned earlier, he was a senior my freshman year. He made all-conference senior year. I made all-conference my freshman year, first time. 2 brothers that made it on the first team coming from Des Moines, Iowa. So not the most hotbed of talent, but it was a good day that day. A good call home to my mom and dad to tell them about what their boys accomplished. So that kind of gets me to high school. And a guy named Matt Kennedy came into my life. He was a pro player back in the day as a goalkeeper, and in Des Moines, we started club soccer and was trying to take it to the next level. And so he asked where he could live. And my mom, being a big advocate of youth soccer, said you can come and stay at our house. So he showed up in his hatchback Scirocco, I believe, with his Doberman Pinscher Ace. And they ended up going to our basement, living on a futon on the floor. And it happened to go a little bit more than 1 or 2 days. It went into many, many months. And now he's like family. We spent our last Christmas, my mom was alive with Matt. He just had double knee replacement surgery last month, so he was the proponent or the epitome of the soccer coach. He was out around the field, and now he's getting both of his shoulders done, I think, next month. So he's a grinder. And 17 years ago this weekend, I came here on my recruiting trip. I just had decommitted from Wisconsin, which I was going there for a while, and Coach Lee brought me down here for my visit. And I kind of look at it, and I went into the weekend saying 3 things. One of them, what was it? But 3 things. I wanted the opportunity to compete for playing time early. I know it wouldn't be handed to me. There's a 5th-year senior in front of me, and at halftime of the first game against Memphis, Coach had the guts to put me in net, and I started every game since. So I appreciate the opportunity. And I think I may have came out for like 20, 22 minutes throughout the next 4 years. So it was a good ride. The second thing was winning. I said I want to get an opportunity to win. I want to be surrounded by people that would be just as motivated for me to push me to new heights and push them to new heights. And we won. So a lot of the guys were over there, multiple conference championships, NCAA tournaments. I see Sabo sitting over there, flicked the header over Bradley in the conference championship game. And I know we're playing Bradley later on today, but it was a good overtime flick over Adam Gross to go in the nets to win. So that was a good experience. And the third thing was scholarship. And so we talked about the scholarship. So that's good. I knew that I was getting ready to be into big time sports. Those 3 things in my mind, I came in, and it's similar to some of the other stories, right? You're walking on campus, and you're used to being the big shot from Iowa potentially. And you get on the track the first morning. And that was my experience, a 3-mile time run when I was a goalkeeper. So I wasn't a long distance fan, but we had a 3-mile time run the first morning. We get on the track and around the bend, so I'm glad it's in here, around the track. Otherwise it would have been a lot different memories from my time in college. But, we go around the first bend in college and we shoot up one player starts off the crew, runs out of the stadium. And he ends up going on 2 or more missions and never comes back. So I said, we're getting ready to have this is big time sports. I was ready, I was pumped. This is the type of coach that I wanted to play for. He got me excited and ready to go. I think Mike Williams also I was in his wedding, he was at my wedding, reckless, abandoned on the field, but I remember him running onto the track after we'd already started, and that's one thing you don't do is show up late, right? And I remember him getting an earful the whole way, and he ended up moving out of his friend's room and into the soccer house to help keep him in line, so that was good, but so I appreciate everything, that Coach has done. The story is to give your best, give 100% in everything that you do. I know my wife sometimes doesn't like the fact that when I say I'm watching TV and watching the game, I'm giving 100% to the game. And, she'll like a little bit of my ear, but that's okay. That happens a lot. So it's good. And Coach Kennedy, being a goalkeeper, we're kind of odd sometimes. He broke it down for me early at my early age. He said, there's a couple of things, but one thing I always took with me was when you're in goal, the best outcome you could ever hope to do is not get scored on or tied 0-0. You can never win the game being a goalkeeper. Your mistakes are magnified to the nth degree, so you have to prepare like no other, because anytime the ball comes, whether you bobble it, you miss it, you let it go in the net, that thing is magnified. And so the guys over here, a lot of my old team members, the best I could ever do is keep it 0-0, and you guys put all those wins up on the board, so I appreciate that wholeheartedly. So I'll kind of wrap it up. The thing, again, I just want to say thank you to the university. Kind of look at being a student athlete. When I was going through it, I thought, I was an athlete part, and I would go to school. So I want to say from the athletic part that you guys did everything that you possibly could do to put us in a position to compete. We never felt like we were ever out of a game. We were never outmanned, no matter what school it was. If they're a top 5 program, we were ready to go. We knew who we were. They know they didn't want to run with us, and we would compete, and we'd bring it home. So for them to put that on allow us to be in that opportunity to compete with the big boys and be in the top 5 nationally ranked, and to go undefeated, it was awesome. From the student side of it, going through it in college, they gave us the discipline, they pushed us to go to study hall, not all the fun stuff that you guys are probably going through right now, you guys over here too, but all that work, now it's the same thing, now I'm in a business environment, big company, and it's the school here prepared me to compete with all my colleagues. They may not know they're in a competition with me, but I feel that I'm in a competition with them. And the school's never put me at a disadvantage. I always felt like I was at an advantage. So with that, the school's given so much to me, and my mom has an endowment here, the Modersohn Memorial Soccer Scholarship, so that we can have a little piece of the Modersohn family with the school for many years to come. And lastly, I have to thank my little ones over there. I hope they aren't disturbing you, but Luke, Jake, and Ashlyn are hanging out over there. You guys are my life right now, so thank you.